Hey guys, so Tristan Stubbs scoring a triple century on day two of the 4 day game between the Warriors and KZN in England. A fantastic knock by the youngster, and I think now there won't be many doubts about why Coach Shukri has been looking at him as a potential person for the test side and why he was selected in the first place. He's been having an absolutely great season both in the 4 day arena as well as in the T20 arena. And he's really starting to show his all round ability as an all format player. So I wanted to highlight Tristan Stubbs' amazing performance today, but I will be going through the other results as well to give you guys a quick summary of what's taking place in the 4 day. It's basically the end of the 4 day competition to see who's going to be in that final next week. So today's show is going to be dedicated to primarily talking about Tristan Stubbs and his performance, but I also am going to summarize some of the other 4 day games that took place today as well. But before we get going, before we get started, there's a couple of things I'd like you guys to please do. First and foremost, subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell for all future videos, please. We are getting closer to 5,000 subscribers, and we really need your help to get there quick, fast. So please go ahead and subscribe and share this with all your friends and family that you do know that love South African cricket. This is a community that we are building where you guys can give your opinions and have your say and tell me what you think about the game and where you think it can improve, who you think should be in certain teams, etc., etc. I'd also like you guys to please download the latest issue and subscribe to Cricket Fanatics magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. Link is on the screen as well as in the description. You can go ahead and get all your free copies, including all back issues, 100% free. And we also launched the Cricket Fanatics magazine Business Corner to help small businesses market their business effectively and affordably to a cricket audience. If you know any businesses, entrepreneurs, startups that are looking to market their products and services or their brand, we are the only viable option if you're looking to market to a cricket audience, because our prices, guys, you won't get any better anywhere else. So please go ahead and send this to as many people that you know. We are trying to help smaller South African cricket businesses so that it can maybe work in a snowball effect and try and help them also sponsor other major cricket fraternities and different levels of the game. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. Looking forward to discussing this with you guys. A very good evening. Welcome to Cricket Fanatics magazine. This is your daily show. I'm your host, Khalid. This is the show where we talk about all the major talking points in South African cricket. And something that made headlines today is Tristan Stubbs. He was absolutely phenomenal in his performance, um, batting like a champ, obviously getting a triple century. He is now the first uh, batter from EP or the Warriors to have reached a triple ton. And that is something that I think is fantastic that after all these years, you have a youngster at the age of 23 doing an amazing thing, doing an amazing job, getting that triple century. Now, here's the names for the other players on this list for the highest score. This he scored the highest score. So at this point, obviously 285 not out yet, past Eric Rowan in 1945, 46, which don't really count. But Ashwell Prince 2's 54 in 2008, 2009, which is fantastic from the player to do that. And he's gone on to become the first to score a triple ton. So that is absolutely magnificent from Tristan Stubbs. Werner did a little video compilation as well of the performance, and I think that's something that we can maybe highlight over here and play for you guys on the channel. So let me go and play that for you, and you can watch some of the shots that he's played. As you can see, he's playing all he played all around the ground as well. It's not necessarily only um, his strengths, but you can see that he's really complete. He's becoming a complete player. You can see there the foot movement over there, the cover drives, the reverse sweeps, the pull shots, etc. He's really against spin, against pace. It didn't matter. He really played an all-round game for this knock. Um, it's absolutely fantastic to see a youngster perform this way. And for me personally, I think right now he's in that situation where he can become a mainstay in the South African Test side. I think he needs um, another opportunity to show his class in at this level, at the Test level. And what makes Tristan Stubbs very attractive to watch is the fact that he can become very attacking and aggressive, as you can see here. He can when he gets into the flow of things, he can become extremely destructive. And when you have a middle order with the likes of Tristan Stubbs in there and David Bedingham in there as well, who are naturally attacking style batters, that makes it incredible to think about what the future brings. And I've always said Tristan Stubbs needed to go play 4-day cricket. And it is something that I feel is very important. Now, I've seen a lot of people criticize the bowling attack that he faced. It's not necessarily the strongest of bowling attacks. If you look at them on paper, and the pitch, I wasn't there, so I can't really tell you what the pitch was like. Um, as you can see, the bowlers stopped having or finding a plan. They didn't know where to bowl to him, and they started in the end bowling in the slot, and he went on there obviously to score that triple ton. And it was something that they struggled to do. He really rattled them. They didn't have an answer for him, and that's great to see that dominance from a player. I think that we've only seen him twice in Test cricket now, two innings from him, and I'm hoping that we can we can see more of him in the Test arena. Now we're going to the West Indies. I think that will probably be the best place for him to actually maybe show what he can do. I mean, we are looking for for a top order batter now that uh, Dean Alga has left. I'm presuming that someone like Tony De will move up the order, and Tristan Stubbs will come into that middle order. And I think we can he can really be, if he can do what he's doing domestically in the Test arena and show that class at the Test level, we really have an amazing player on our hands. And I think the key to this part, to his triple century as well, you have to look at as well as Matthew Breeski. Matthew Breeski was absolutely fantastic as well. He scored 188, but he couldn't go on to score that double ton. But they were crucial to the 517 for three that the Warriors have posted so far. If it wasn't for bad light, we might have seen a lot more runs come our way with regards to that. So I'm going to go to the next game, which is an important one from a. It's going to be an important one from a table perspective, from a standings perspective, and for the final. What is going to happen over there? It's going to be interesting run towards this final. This last few days are going to be so important. Now, I was at the Western Province game today, and it was hundreds galore for the Western Province side. They scored 592 for six, and they declared. I spoke about Daniel Smith's 100 yesterday, but Gavin Kaplan was absolutely fantastic. 173, 298 balls, 1624s. And Calvarena was fantastic with his 135 of 142. He was cramping a bit towards the end of his innings, and he was starting to play a lot more attacking towards the end. And they declared on 592. But the important factor here is the bowlers did their jobs to really uh, get the Dolphins in some trouble. 175 for 5. John Smith and Ethan Bosch have to go save this game for them. A draw for them will probably cement a final spot for the side, for the Dolphins. If the game between the Titans and the Lions, if the bonus points aren't necessarily too much, I don't think it will affect the Dolphins too much if they draw. Dependable on what happens in the other games between the Titans and the Lions, I think that the Dolphins will still make the final even if they draw this match. So they will obviously try to play for a draw, I think, in this game, because a win is looking highly unlikely going into day 3. There's rain on day 4. So predicted for Cape Town, about 40% chance. So the province team really have their work cut out for them. I think tomorrow they're going to have to really bowl well to bowl the Dolphins out and then send them into bat again. I think that would be the aim and the goal for them, given the massive total that they scored first. So very good batting from the Western Province side, from Kaplan, from Smith, from Verreynne. I was watching Verreynne, he moves his feet a lot more at domestic level, and that's probably also because of the quality of the bowlers aren't as the same as at test level. But I would like him to maybe stick to that mentality when he's batting at test level. Be solid in his technique and trust his technique, and trust his foot movement, because when he's moving his feet and playing, he plays with freedom and he plays with confidence. So I would like to see that maybe happen down the line with regards to Gal Verreynne. Then in the match between the Lions and the Titans, to give you guys an update there, this is looking like it's going to become an incredibly close match. As you know, the Titans were 227 all out. And then the Lions scored 293, and Josh Richards got 100, and Mitch van Buren got 58, and Vian Mulder got 55. Vian Mulder's also really putting up his hand for a test selection, especially if you want to kind of balance the team out with an extra batter at maybe 6 in the Proteas test lineup. Then Mulder can really become a good option. He's currently in incredible form when it comes to the 4-day arena as well as in T20 cricket. His all-round game is really going extremely well. But Josh Richards, fantastic today, 107 of 201 balls, 15 fours and 2 sixes. A fantastic performance by the youngster. And the Lions were all out for 293. And they currently have the Titans 35 for 2. 2 early wickets again in this particular match. Brevis is at the crease at the moment, and Joshua van Heerden is at the crease. So let's see if those two can take the fight to the Lions and win this match. If it's a draw between the two, then and the Western Province win, then we know that the final will probably be Western Province and the Dolphins. So that's where it's heading currently with regards to that match. In the Rocks game versus Northwest Dragons to end off this particular round of fixtures, that's almost like a bottom table kind of clash at the moment in a way. The Rocks were the Dragons were for 484 all out. But for some, I mean, the Rocks this season have really struggled. They're 127 for 5. And it's up to Mikey Copeland now and Sean Van Berg to try and save this match for them. So not a very good performance from the Rocks so far. And they've been having a very bad season this season. So it's going to be questions are going to be asked about the team and where they're headed, etc., and what they're going to be doing. So that's the roundup of the 4-day fixtures. And yeah, so I think that this knock by Tristan Stubbs really puts him on the radar for another opportunity at test level. I have to keep that consistency because I was talking about Tony De Zorzi possibly getting a call up in that number 3 spot when he scored the triple century. So I think I should keep the same energy when it comes to Tristan Stubbs. I've always said it. I think Tristan Stubbs is one of the most complete players in South African cricket at the moment. If you look around the domestic scene, he really is the full package. He can play all around the ground. He can play all types of shots. I mean, in a 4-day game, to play so many reverse sweeps and sweeps It's not necessarily always um, uh, something that we see. It's not very common. So I think he's been absolutely fantastic in his approach to the way he plays the game, and he's actually an incredibly complete batter, I must say, and he's really starting to understand and trust his game, and I think that is what we need to really compliment over here and be proud of when it comes to this youngster. So I'm really enjoying the way Tristan Stubbs is batting at the moment. I can't praise him any more than I have already. Let me read some of your comments out. Matt92 says, still think the middle order should be Rickleton, Bavuma, and Beddingham. Um, there is a bit of concerns. I still have a little bit of concerns about Rickleton's 4-day technique in a way. I'm questioning whether he has the ability to maybe knuckle down and be able to play like in New Zealand, for example. Would he have been able to play on that wicket? Is something that I'm interested to see. He's quite a freedom type of batter, free flowing type of batter, and yeah, he's someone that plays the type of shots he plays. I think he's best suited for the Proteas currently, if they're going to give him an opportunity 20s, the way he's been batting in those formats. But I mean, I would like to see him get another opportunity in Test cricket down the line. This season, he hasn't necessarily been converting his 50s into 100s consistently. While his game hasn't been as great with regards to conversion rates um, this season as it has been in previous seasons. He's been getting quite a bit of 50s, etc. And like I spoke about on yesterday's show, it's not just about stats when you're looking at certain players. You also need to think about their technique and the way they and how solid the technique is and how much they trust their technique and whether the technique is adaptable to all situations. But there's also another factor that I didn't speak about yesterday, and because I thought that it would be worthy maybe to speak about it on one show, but I think I can mention it here. We must take into account the character of a player, the mentality of a player as well, and that's something that only the coach can pick up by having conversations with the player, by giving them certain challenges, by telling them to take on certain tests, and if they pass those tests, it's important to it will tell a lot about their character, whether they want to take on pressure when there's pressure situations, if they want if they're the first people to step forward and take that pressure head on. Those are all qualities that you want to see in a test batter, because test cricket is absolutely completely it's extremely sorry, I don't know what I'm saying there. It's a completely difficult format and a trialing and testing format. Arvin saying great innings by Stubbs. But Rainer might move his feet because he's a little bit more confident, and that might be he's comfortable there. So he does that because he's that makes 100% sense. Josh Richards played a brilliant knock, a tough innings. He was always tested. He was really tested at some points and didn't always look comfortable. Glenn Ray says Mulder only bowled 3 overs so far in the current match. Has he got an injury? Um, no, I don't think so. I just think maybe I don't know what the reason is, to be honest with you. Um, because there are certain games where he doesn't bowl a lot, given their bowling attack that they do have. Um, it's very important that Mulder's getting runs. Extremely important, because that is his strongest suit, in my opinion. It's always been his strongest suit when he was a youngster. Um, that's what I've always thought, and I think that was always his best attribute when he was a kid. But then, for some reason, Otis Gibson saw something in his bowling action and liked it, and they started emphasizing him as a bowler more than a batter. And he wasn't really getting opportunities to bat. And I think he should bat a little higher, maybe not in that 8 or 7 positions, but in the 6 position wouldn't be a bad position for him. um, in a lineup. Um, but I mean, even five, but that's David Bellingham's spot currently. But he's a proper batter via Mulder, and he gets he has the capabilities to really go far if he can just stay focused and continuously and bring and keep up the consistency, which is so important. Arvin says hopefully Stubbs rocks in Test cricket as well. I really hope that he can take that into the game. He looks quite different at the crease this season. Improvement on last season. He managed to move between domestic cricket and SA20 quite seamlessly, which is promising. Same approach and confidence. Matt92 says maybe the only way to accommodate Rickleton in Test is to have him open. I think Tony Rizorzi would open, eh? He is an opener for Western Province. Bretsky and Stubbs both looked really good in SA20 as well. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Bretsky, and I'm hoping that down the line you will be looked at as well. Kani saying Khalid Michael Pretorius is putting up all-round performances. Brilliant, 93. He really is. He's showing his performances with the bat as well as with the ball, and he bowls quickly. So perhaps, perhaps some of the coaches will maybe look at him in the future. I don't know. Matt 92 says Marcus Ackerman has gone under the radar this season for the Dolphins. Looks good this season, really does. He kept today because Titoli got a wrap on his, I can't remember where he got bowled, on his finger. And then, yeah, Ackerman kept a little bit today. I think Bretsky and Stubbs are ready for international cricket. Uh, Very underrated paper. People barely talk about him. Holly, why are you not preparing green top like in Holly? Why are they not preparing green tops like India series for domestic games? Look here, this pitch was very cracky. The morning of the game, and it was causing some issues for the opening batters, Tony Rizorzi and Daniel Smith on day one, first session. But then at the moment, it's been extremely hot in Cape Town, like 30 degrees, 30, 31, 32 degrees, 29 degrees consistently. It's been very hot. So that's been playing a massive impact on the pitches as well, drying it out, etc. So it is quite difficult to get things green top. And I wouldn't, I mean, the India series, it wasn't green top. That was the problem. The problem over there wasn't the green top. It was the fact that there was quite a bit of dangerous cracks in the wicket that was causing uneven bounce, and it was causing irregular movement. And India just exploited it well. They found the dangerous areas in the pitch, and they just kept on bowling exactly in those areas consistently over and over again. And I think that was the key for them over there. They were excellent at doing that. That's very important as well when it comes to uh, the test arena. That's what makes the test arena so great. Um, and the wicket has at Newlands today has dried out quite a bit. It's it's becoming quite flat. So that's why the spinners came into action and the slower bowlers came into the game and took the wickets and really have tested the Dolphins so far. So let's see what happens on in the first session tomorrow when I go to Newlands. If whether it will be a little bit. I know it's going to be hot tomorrow, but maybe in the morning it might be a little overcast, and overnight maybe I don't know what's going to be happening overnight. I haven't looked at the weather report. But let's see if that wicket will be a little bit spicy tomorrow morning at least. And it might then cause the Dolphins some issues. Obviously, I want Western Province to get into the final and have a Newlands final. If they can in top of the table, that would be brilliant, because then we get the final here in Cape Town, and I get to go watch live cricket again, competitive live cricket for another trophy for Western Province if they can do so. So yeah, so far 4-day arena, 4-day games. You know what a fan I am of 4-day cricket, and that is my favorite format four day and test cricket. Um, that's something that I always am going to enjoy, because I feel that four day cricket, red ball cricket, test cricket, it really tests the bowlers. At test players, I, I always say that it's almost like it teaches you life lessons. Test cricket is almost like the lessons that you learn in life, um, basically, because the trust that you need to have between with your partner at the other end, the difficulties of going through bad periods and then getting a good period, and then you need to dominate when you get your chance. You take your chances when you get them. You need to be patient. Sometimes you need to be aggressive and change your approach. You have to have resilience. There's so many things that Test cricket and four-day cricket teaches you, that is so important for your all-round game across formats. And I think that's something that we need to remember, and younger players need to remember, because look what it's doing for the likes of Tristan Stubbs, etc. How I feel that four-day cricket played a huge part in completing his game overall. And I think what it's done for the likes of Bryce Parsons now, I would say Matthew Britsky over the last couple of years, Jordan Herman. Um, there are so many guys, Calvin Rayner, Tony DeZorzi. Um, there are so many guys we can speak about that have their cricket in all formats has improved because of their four-day game. So it's so important for youngsters to play for first-class cricket. I think for the development of them of their own game, and for the mental resilience that it teaches you and the mental strength that it can give you, um, it's a vital cog in the wheel of becoming a complete player. So that's something that I hope that more youngsters realize, and I hope they don't get too enticed by the T20 hype. I mean, T20 cricket for me, when it was introduced, it was an exciting format, and I was excited that something like this was going to be introduced. But I feel like it's oversaturated now. I think there's too many leagues, there's too many T20 cricket tournaments happening all around. It's just becoming ridiculous now. I feel um, there's way too much T20 cricket happening, and I would like obviously an emphasis on the longer format, but I don't think that I'll get my wish necessarily, because the way the current world is working, instant gratification is becoming part of our DNA now. The newer generation want things quick, fast. They want answers quickly. They don't have the patience to fight it out and grind it out. If they don't like something or it's not working out for them, they just want to switch to the next thing. They don't have the patience and the desire and the willingness to want to fight through hardships and difficulties. They want everything handed to them easily. Not all, but there is a large pool of people of younger people that are like that in the world. And I think it's also infecting maybe the next generations as well, other people as well. It's a problem with humanity, I feel, at the moment. People um, have become very they become very attracted to this instant gratification world. Everything's short, quick, sweet. No appreciation for for things that have taken time for someone maybe to do or to create or whatever the case may be. And that's why I respect you guys on this channel so much, because every day I sit here at 7 o'clock, or today I came a little bit earlier because I have to go to a birthday. But I respect and appreciate you guys so much, because every single day, no matter what mood I am in, because I know I can be quite bipolar on here. Sometimes I'm in a great mood and so on, and sometimes I'm a little bit down. I'm sorry. It's a lot going on in my head every single day and all the time. So I really appreciate you guys coming on the shows and sitting through an hour or 45 minutes or 30 minutes with me and listening to what I have to say and then commenting as well in the live chat. Um, it means a hell of a lot to me that you guys take the time out because we're strangers to each other. You know, you guys know me from this. A lot of you I haven't even met, and yet you sit here with me and you listen to me and you teach me a hell of a lot as well with your comments and what you tell me in the live chat. I'm still learning about this game, and I will forever be learning this game. So I'm glad that I could find a pocket of people that are not completely um, over. How can I say? That have not been completely absorbed by this instant gratification world that we live in. I mean, it pains me to see because I'm a big movie lover. I love movies. I mean, I studied film as well a little bit, and it pains me to see how people don't want to go to the cinema anymore to sit still for 2 hours or 2.5 hours or even 1.5 hours to watch a movie. Um, the last time I went to go see a film, I haven't been in a while, but the last time I went to go see a film, I sat in the movie and there were people on their phones in the movie while the movie's on, texting or whatever the case they're doing, or on Instagram or on TikTok while the movie's on, and they're like watching, but they're also scrolling. So like I was like, wow. I mean, when I go to the movies, I buy my popcorn and buy my Coke. First and foremost, I don't eat my popcorn until the movie starts, until the actual opening scene starts. I'm a weirdo like that. And I will sit and I'll watch the movie eating one popcorn kernel at a time. So like that's just me, but it's crazy to see those type of things. That the way the world has gone. I just wish more people would want to fight. You know, fight for things that are important and fight for things that they care about. You know, and not be so quick to give things up. Um, Matt 92. Any plans for the international fixtures for the remainder of the season? Any plans for home international fixtures for the remainder of the season? Talking about me. Oh, talking about plans for the channel. I mean, I'll be covering everything. I cover all the cricket in South Africa. I work right through the year. There's no break really for me because when the domestic season ends, some of the players get a break and they get time to switch off. I'm going to work right through. So for the FTP, that's coming our way. There's also a T20 World Cup in the middle of the year. So I'll be working right through that. I'll be doing reviews, previews, all of those type of things. You'll be doing daily shows still right through. We'll try to make it a little bit fun, maybe talk about the past and some other things as well. South Africa tour of the West Indies happens in May. So I'll be covering those three T20s, reviews, preview shows, all of that. Then July, South Africa tour of Ireland, 3 ODIs, 3 T20s. I'll be covering that too. Previews, reviews, all of those type of things, because it's important for the development. And then we also have and then in August it's a tour of New Zealand of West Indies, sorry, the 2 tests and the 5 T20s. So also very important. So we'll work right through the year, guys, with regards to that. And then we have Sri Lanka tour of South Africa at the end of the year, November, December, 2 test matches. And then again in December, January, we've got 2 test matches of Pakistan, 3 ODIs and 3 T20s for our summer, for the end of the year. So that's going to be happening over there. Vince is Khalid, bro. I want SA back to winning ways in Test cricket. Me too. I mean, it will get there, guys. We need to be a little bit patient with Coach Shukri and as he tries to find his best team. Remember, he doesn't really have a lot of time to trial and test players. So he's going to have to make decisions quickly. He's going to have to analyze players' mentalities, their technique, their attitudes, whether they have the heart to go out there and become a test cricketer, because it's the hardest thing to do in cricket is be a test cricketer. So he's going to have to go out there and do those things. That's a must for Coach Shukri. He's going to have to learn quickly, fast and quickly, fast and quickly, redundant. He's going to have to learn extremely quickly and analyze players fast to know whether they're ready or not for that step up. So we're going to have to be patient with this team. This team is in development at the moment, and we're going to find the core group of players that I feel will be probably in the test team for the next few years, for the next decade. Potentially, we could. Obviously, not all of them, but this team's going to take another transition again down the line as well. So, um, yeah, I'm hoping that there's going to be more A tours and emerging tours in between as well to keep us occupied, because we will talk about that too, and the players that will be selected in that. But anyway, guys, a little bit of a shorter show today. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please don't forget to subscribe. We are getting closer to that 5,000 mark. So please help us get those 5,000 subscribers. Thanks a lot, everybody, for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow with another daily show. It will probably be a Q&A session. So stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Peace out.